of a light, but it wasn't enough. So we running left her in the dark without a clue. Oh, 18 and her life is on the line again. She's popping pills with her friends and sneaking out. She knows that she's wasting all the time without him, but she can't picture him not being around. She's sad, so why can't we feel something different? We just need to close that distance, bring me close to you. Don't let go, don't let go. And I hate finding new beginnings. Make toxic commitments. I'm not over you. I can't let go. I was 17 with a dream of finding love again. I'm burnt out and I need somebody new. And I can't believe you're in love with me. Oh, lucky me, I got you right where say what's left to me.